This is like the third time I'm trying to film this video. Hopefully I can do this all in one take and just go. Hi, I'm Sierra. This is my YouTube channel. This is my first video ever. I'm a little nervous. I've wanted to be a YouTuber for forever. As early as like 2011, I remember wanting to be a content creator so bad. And maybe it was for the wrong reasons back then. My ego was definitely driving me. But now I know my intentions and my values, and I know I'm meant to have a platform. And so this is my attempt to do that. I have been posting consistently on TikTok for like 2 months now. I've actually learned a lot. I've learned how to use my voice more. Like, this is probably the most confident that I've been talking to the camera ever. I've learned that I do have a platform, and like, people actually do want to hear what I have to say, and it's not oversaturated. People say this space of content creation is it's oversaturated, the apps are changing. There's still room. Like, there is still room. Your voice can still be heard. So if you're like me and you're watching this and like, I can never do that, you can. It's not as daunting as it seems once you get into it. TikTok has definitely opened my eyes, and it's taught me a lot. The biggest thing is that nobody cares as much as you do. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what you look like. They don't care if you look crazy. People are probably not focusing on you as much as you think. So stop overthinking it. That's been the #1 lesson. For me, outside of content creation, I have been unemployed since July 2023. I wasn't looking for a job right away. I worked at a bank and I was just miserable, and I decided to quit on a whim, and then I went traveling throughout Europe for like a month to celebrate my birthday month. And then I came home and I was just relaxing, chilling, really not doing much. After that, I decided to go on another trip because obviously I wasn't doing anything, and I went to Central America. I went to Mexico, Belize, and Guatemala. Amazing. Best times of my life traveling. Like, I love travel. You will see that on this channel. I'll definitely do more travel videos. But yeah, I was just kind of coasting, like not worrying about anything. I had a good amount of money saved from working for the last like 5 years, and I didn't really start looking for a job until September 2024. So it's been about a year that I've been actively looking for jobs. Don't ask how many times I've applied to different jobs, how many jobs I've applied to. We don't talk about that. It's been a challenge for sure. And through this whole thing, I've really learned so much. I'm really into astrology. If you're an astrology girl, I've been going through some of the craziest transits ever. And now I realize they weren't happening to me, like, oh, what was me? They were happening for me to realize what I needed to realize, you know? It got me where I needed to go. I'm going there. After applying for a year, I finally got an interview, and as soon as I got the email, I was like, I don't want it. Like, something was just telling me that this was not right. And I couldn't exactly put my finger on why. It just did not feel as satisfying or fulfilling as you would imagine after searching for a year. Like, the thought of making money again would be like, oh, good, finally, relief. I immediately felt like looming doom and gloom energy. I felt so unhappy, and I could not figure out what it was. And because of these astrological transits happening, the Pisces Virgo eclipse, if you know, you know. I'm a Pisces rising, Virgo sun, so like, this was hitting me hard. And I realized a lot during this like last month, which has brought me here. The #1 thing I've learned through this whole process of trying to find a job, trying to figure things out, is that I'm my own worst enemy. And if you're watching this, you could potentially be your own worst enemy too. Really look at yourself and reflect. Are you keeping yourself stuck? I realized that I was subconsciously talking myself out of moving forward and doing things out of fear. I was afraid to move forward. I was afraid to no longer be codependent on my family, to have this like safety and security. I mean, I live at home, so I pay no rent. The thought of getting a job and moving out on my own, being independent, like, that is scary. People usually go from college to living on their own. I didn't go to college. I just stayed at home and worked. So this is like an extra big step for me, and I realized that I was avoiding it out of fear. Another big thing I learned, your decisions are up to you. No one is coming to save you. And that's unfortunately probably the biggest lesson that I've had to learn through all of this. Even if you have a support system, even if you feel really connected to the universe or, you know, whatever you believe in, they're not going to save you. If you are indecisive and trying to decide where to go, what to do, you're simply going to have to make the decision yourself. And I know that's so hard to hear. It was so hard for me to figure out. Not only was I standing in my own way, but I was the only one who was going to actually get out of my way and start moving. That was scary to realize. As recently as this past weekend, I realized I don't want to work. Like, I'm not meant to work a traditional job. I'm just not. Over these past, honestly, 5 years, I've gone through a constant cycle of being miserable at my job. I worked customer service jobs. I would get miserable to the point of like serious despair. I was super depressed, and I constantly kept wondering at the time, like, why is this happening to me? Why is nothing working out? Why do I feel so miserable, right? I just kept wondering, and every time I had the opportunity to stay miserable or choose myself, I chose myself. And I'm so proud of myself for doing that. Like, I made the hard decision to move on and let go of safety in order to feel good. And I did it 3 times, like 3 different jobs that I had over the last 5 years. Something just did not feel right, and I left. I've never been fired because I leave before I can get fired. And every time that I quit, I would take this pause and really try to figure out what was wrong with me, why I was feeling the way that I did. And I got closer to myself on another level, a deeper level than I ever have before. I asked myself the hard questions. I did. And then the pain would go away, and I would forget why I was there in the first place and what made me so sad in the first place. So it's just a constant cycle of knowing better, choosing myself, and then continuing to make the wrong decision. So what I've realized over this weekend, when I got that job interview, I was like, this is the cycle repeating itself again. I'm continuing to forget everything that I've learned. The fact that I'm not a traditional person, I'm not a regular person. I can't let my creativity flourish and blossom working at a desk, working at a regular job. Like, I'm just not made for modernity. I came to that revelation over this weekend, and now I'm on a whole new path of trying to figure out how to be a creative and create my dream world, create my dream life for myself intentionally, while also being realistic and moving forward. Because I can't just go and have my biggest dreams plop into my lap. Like I said, it's a very long-term process, and it doesn't happen overnight. So I need to figure out a way to move forward realistically in life, get a job, make money, move out on my own, be independent, while also being a creative and realizing that this way of a 9-to-5, answering to someone else, working for a corporation is not necessarily for me. So that's my challenge going forward. Another big thing that I've realized is part of the reason why I'm like on YouTube and on TikTok and I started my Substack is that I'm meant to be forward facing. I'm meant to be a person on camera. Like, I'm not a behind the scenes type of person. I have too many Leo placements for that. I just think the universe is sending me on this mission to reclaim my power and be who I'm meant to be my authentic self. And I think like what I'm trying to do on social media is that. I started my Substack, which I'm using as a blog right now. Eventually I want my blog to become its own website with my own web design, custom, and all of these different ideas. I have so many things planned out in here that I want to work on and build over time and build my community and connect with other people. It's just a process of like time and effort, putting in the work. My Substack, it's called In Motion. I feel so weird like schlepping it, promoting it here, but it is something that I'm so passionate about. It's very intentional and meaningful to me. In Motion, I hope to grow it to a way to build community with like-minded people, specifically women of color. Now, other people are welcome to join the family. I feel like we are so much stronger together. We're already powerful as individuals, but to really stand together in our personal power with our like-minded ideas, we can actually change the world. And it sounds so dramatic, but like it really does start with just one person or two people joining together saying, hey, I'm with you, we believe in this, let's move forward in the world with our ideas of living an intentional life. Life is not supposed to be just work and then you die. Life is supposed to be joyful, loving, about experience and learning and sharing and compassion. In Motion is going to be a place for people to just come together and embrace the ever-evolving, changing journey. Not becoming your highest self, but getting closer to your true self. I want to live an intentionally joyful life. And part of that is no longer denying that I'm not meant for a regular life. I'm meant for more. That's one thing that I kept saying to myself over and over again when I got this job interview. So if you also feel that way, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Substack. I'm going to be posting more regularly and hope that other people want to join me on the journey, sharing my life, sharing my personal growth stories, sharing my travel experiences, learning about other cultures, books, film, and just like having discussions about things that really matter in the world. There's so much like noise around us as people, and on the internet we take in so much negative information. I want In Motion to be a place where you can tune that out and say, okay, find my center, find my safe space. I want to create a sacred space on the internet for me and my people. I feel like this could really be something. I know it can be something. I know it's going to be something. And it sounds delusional now, but this is my testimony. I think that's all I wanted to say. This actually went better than I thought. Third time's the charm. Subscribe, stay tuned, and who knows what will end up next. Did I say that right? Bye.